This video will discuss the impacts of deer on vegetation. You'll learn about indicators of deer browse in woodlands and how to identify deer browse on tree seedlings. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a woodland and you know that deer are common in the area. What are the signs that deer are using this woodland? To start, we'll first discuss indicators that a woodland may have abundant deer populations. This photograph shows a healthy hemlock forest found in the Porcupine Mountains in the upper peninsula of Michigan. How do we know it's healthy? It shows a number of different species in the understory, and trees appear to be of a different age. So, we can say that it is a diverse forest in terms of its species and age. The different sized trees also provide a lot of structure in the forest. Now, look at this photo of a forest in the same area in the Porcupine Mountains, but in an unhealthy condition. There is not a lot of understory vegetation in the forest. There are a lot of areas where it looks like trees should be growing, but they aren't. As it turns out, the photo in the previous slide looked healthy because it was within a fenced area that excluded deer. This photo shows a forest where deer are abundant and feeding on the vegetation. More evidence of deer populations is the presence of a browse line on nearby trees. Deer can browse all vegetation below this line, which you can see here in this example with northern white cedar. In Minnesota, the browse line is typically around 6 feet, but with a deep snow depth and a hungry deer, the browse line could be higher, around 9 feet. When you're walking in a woodland, also take note of the different kinds of vegetation present. Are there invasive plants? Is the area lush with a lot of ferns, but few other woodland species? Studies have shown an increase in invasive plants in areas where there are higher deer populations. Ferns can dominate sites with large deer populations because deer avoid browsing ferns because they're not as digestible compared to other vegetation. Now, imagine you stop at a tree seedling in your woodland and you want to find out if a deer has browsed it. Next, we'll discuss indicators that deer have been browsing a tree seedling. Bucks will rub large seedlings or small saplings to remove velvet on their antlers, or as a way of marking their territory. Generally, larger bucks will rub larger diameter trees, a fact that many deer hunters know very well. We'll talk about the impact of that browse has on tree seedlings. The browse of a deer on twigs can look similar to the browse made by other woodland creatures, like rabbits. In this photo, which is browse from deer and which one is browse from rabbit? In short, deer are messy eaters. This is because deer only have incisors on their lower jaw, and this requires them to shred their food. Browse from rabbits and other herbivores is always sharp and cut at an angle. This is because they have incisors on both their upper and lower jaws. This is an example of a beech tree that has been food for many deer. Look at how much it's been browsed. Interestingly, this is a photo of a beech tree in New York, a species that is generally not a preferred species in that region. In Minnesota, tree species are ranked as being browse sensitive, palatable, or non-preferred. The browse-sensitive species on the left are ones that are known to be preferred species in Minnesota. Deer will also eat the twigs, buds, and foliage of other palatable species, but only if there are no other food sources readily available. Unfortunately, deer do not prefer to eat many invasive plants, and generally avoid species like spruce because of their sharp needles. To summarize, in woodlands you can see evidence of deer impacts if there's a sparse understory, a clear browse line, and/or the presence of invasive plants or a lot of ferns. On trees, evidence of deer includes bark rubbing and the shredding of twigs and buds. Also, be aware of the tree species in your woodland, because each species differs in its palatability to deer. Understanding these indicators will help you to better identify deer impacts in the woods.